Hello, I am Jaime Elizondo from Real World Ranching, where our goal is to help you achieve maximum productivity while you improve your land the fastest. Last week, I talked about epigenetics on my podcast. Did you get a chance to hear it? I hope you did, because it is a very interesting topic, as it explains how the expression of a gene is turned on or off by marks in the genes due to the environment. It is what explains how a cell can develop an eye or hair or hands or a heart. This is so because all the cells of an animal contain the necessary information genes to do so. But did you know that the environment in which the animal is found will determine which genes will be expressed and which ones will not? Furthermore, we now know that these changes in gene expression are inherited for up to 3 generations. Interesting. Well, we also know that the epigenome, which epi means above in Greek, is affected or shaped by the environment and is what is inherited to a greater or lesser extent and what we use to fix certain characteristics in our livestock. In the course on adaptive genetics and selection guidelines, I talk about this and how our future bulls should be selected, starting with the selection of our best females. You may be thinking, isn't it enough to buy outstanding semen or animals from the best breeders? And the answer is no, because the expression of the genes is determined by the environment. Things like nutrition, medicines, dewormers, chemicals, heat and humidity, lack of food, parasites, and diseases will affect the expression or not of the genes that may interest us. Now, I am going to tell you what is the best way to improve your cattle, your livestock, sheep or goats or cattle. As explained in the course on adaptive genetics and selection guidelines, we start by identifying our best females to select their best offspring and thus spread those superior genomes throughout our herd or flock. But, and this is very important, don't give your animals an artificial environment like most stud breeders do. Why? Because that will mean that certain genes, such as those for resistance to parasites and diseases, will not be expressed, and the animal resulting from living in an artificial environment will simply not have the need to express them. Let's remember that our cattle seek to survive above all things, and if we make it easy for them, those survival genes will not express themselves because the changes explained by epigenetics in our livestock are heritable, and we can fixate certain characteristics in our livestock if we know how. Never forget my motto, fat cows, fat cows, fat cows. Conclusion and review. Number 1, we must select our best animals taking epigenetics into account. No one will be able to sell us a better bull than we can breed ourselves on our own farm. And this is explained by epigenetics. Number 2, observation of our animals starting at a very young age allows us to identify the best ones, something that we will never be able to see if we buy our bulls from other breeders. 3, the environment in which we put our cattle will determine which genes are activated and which genes are not expressed. Be very careful with this because if we give them an artificial environment with too much supplementary food or selective grazing, the animals that stand out will not help us improve our land with them. Number 4, cattle must improve the land and pasture where they graze and not only be efficient converters of grass to meat or milk. 5, always keep your cattle in good body condition because the adaptation of their young depends on their diet. Of course, without having them in an artificial environment. And I explained this in the course of adaptive genetics and selection guidelines. You know that plants with fat, deep roots will give us fat, high humus soils, which will lead to better nutrition for our cattle, which will also be fat. And if we do all this right, will result in a fat wallet. Well, I hope you like this podcast and you can put it into practice. Thank you, and until next time, be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, iTunes, or YouTube, or join us for the weekly email at www.rwranching.com/join. May God bless you and have a great day.